Okay, so anyhow, yeah, you're looking at something I want to play for you here, and then we're going to talk about this. I want you to pay attention to the wording. Okay, this is from the governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds.
Today, I also wanted to provide an update on the progress we're seeing in key areas of our state and our continued expansion of testing, both through Test Iowa and our targeted strike teams. Deployed strike teams to conduct surveillance testing in communities where virus activity is increasing.
Okay, targeted strike teams. We'll stop it there. That'll be a better picture. Targeted strike teams on their surveillance, on their testing. You know, the way that works is they're not joking when we're using the word targeted strike teams. Targeted individuals that strike teams are sent to the door to do testing. And he goes, how does that work? Well, you know, in today's society, everybody carries their smartphones with them and on in their pocket or in their purse if they're a woman or what have you, or their back pocket, or on and on many ways we carry our phones with us everywhere we go, don't we? So we have somebody that was tested positive. I'm just giving you this scenario how this works. But before they knew they had the invisible bug, okay, before they knew they had it, you know, maybe a week before or what have you, they was up at Walmart shopping or they were at the local grocery store, you know, shopping for food out and about. And while they're in the store, you walk by them and somebody else walks by them and somebody else walks by them and somebody else walks by them and another person walks by them and another person, and then they might be standing in line, and even though they're 6 foot apart, person behind them, person in front of them have their phones on. They have their phone on. Now what happens is this. Everybody that walked by this person in the store's cell phone has communicated with each other. Anybody within distance of them has communicated with each other. So now they can take the person's phone that is now tested positive, and they can follow the history back and know every single person that walked by them, pull up their carrier, their home address, and their name. So now these people all need to be tested because they walked by somebody that was tested positive. So this is where targeted strike teams come in. Through, of course, Homeland Security, you know, of course, through our government, mainly fusion centers, and all of the hired hands that they've hired to help, including military. This is the contact tracing they're talking about. This is the tracing. This is why it's now targeted strike teams. Yes, that's what that's about. That's about you carried the device that gave them your address and name when you walked by somebody they claimed tested positive. This is how they're using this, and this is why I wanted to show you her own words, and you need to pay attention to her wording, okay? I'm going to play this as short. I'll play it one more time. Listen close to her wording.
Today, I also wanted to provide an update on the progress we're seeing in key areas of our state and our continued expansion of testing, both through Test Iowa and our targeted strike teams. Deployed strike teams to conduct surveillance testing in communities where virus activity is increasing.
There you go. We've deployed strike teams to deduct surveillance. We've heard Trump talk about surveillance a lot recently, haven't we? Yes, we have. Okay. And then our targeted strike teams, of course. See, the wording's key to understand what's really going on. See, Governor Reynolds, when she first started this, she made the statement she wanted every single person in Iowa tested. See, literally, they want every person globally tested. Oh, no, it's not testing you for something that's right now it's fraudulent, but it's about to become real. And they're going to pull the wool over your eyes, okay? They really are. But I'll go on with that in a second. Right now, they're using it as a ploy that they're doing good for you, that they're trying to fight this battle against the invisible enemy. And we have to find anybody that's walked by somebody, even just walked by them, that they decided tested positive in a test that don't accurately test nothing. This has all been proven to be fraudulent. But see, that's only the first round. But the problem with the fraudulent is we've shut down societies. That's right. We've listened to a criminal by the name of Fauci. Okay? And other so-called leaders that are, well, they're in bed with the people behind this, okay? You know, we can give one good name, Bill Gates. Tony Fauci. Yeah, them are the two names. I already said Fauci, so, you know, I added one to it. Gates. You know. And I'm not going to go into too much on names on this. I'm just going to tell you this is what's going on. And just like they've been telling you about a surge, it coming back. And, Fauci's saying we're reopening too soon. I don't know that we're reopening too soon. I don't think we should have closed it all. But just the same, reopening too soon. See, they're setting you up right now. You don't even know they are. For the comeback. The only problem with the comeback is it's not going to be what you want. No, not at all. Let me see if I can pull it up. I hit the right one. Pull it up because I don't want all of them. So we'll pull this one up. Ah, there it is. Medical, that's right. Countermeasures, research, and development goals to prevent infectious disease epidemics. Look at the date. Yeah. This is a PDF file right off the government website. Yep, PDF file right off the government website. It's legit as legit gets. And when you go through reading this, we're talking about just that, and we're talking about vaccinations, you know, things with needles, things like that. And we've heard that said enough, haven't we? Yes. But this also tells us of some other damaging information. And when you do your homework and you pay attention to what's going on around you, the first round is an exercise. That's where we're at right now, by the way. We're at the exercise stage yet. You know, where we have people that are, well, your business isn't essential. That's right. So you're not allowed to reopen because you're not essential. Of course, what Tony says that we're opening too soon, so how they played it out was like here in the state of Iowa. Miss Reynolds over there says, well, these counties have less cases, so as of May 1st, they can open up, blah, blah, blah. And the restaurants can be half capacity. But they can open up at half capacity. On the day they're supposed to open at half capacity, the state health department showed up in the county, and they made sure it went from restaurant to restaurant. to scare the kajivas out of them so they wouldn't reopen at half capacity. Worked. It worked wonders. Many places didn't open back up. We're still locked down. They're still doing just carry out because the health department made sure they didn't reopen by scaring the kajivas out of them. No lie, factual. The second round, well, from what I'm seeing, that I'm not going to talk about now. I will talk about this, but not now, not in this here video. Okay, the second round's going to be real. First round wasn't. See, what they have done, though, is they've set us up. That's right, we've been set up. We've been hoodwinked. We all think that, oh, well, this is real, right? This is really going on, right? Right? No, this is not really going on. But it's going to be really going on here real soon. Sure is. But it's not going to be going on in the way you think. It really isn't. But it's going to be real. It's going to be quite real. And unfortunately, I don't know how to say this other than just be straight blunt forward about it, okay? See, I'll tell you a little story. It's a true story, by the way. It's no lie. It's factual. It's real truth, okay? Here's a little story for you. My youngest brother, who died just like 30 years ago, he was 25 when he passed away. We were at an amusement park many years back. And my youngest brother, well, he had epilepsy. And he was having grand mal seizures. And he was a workaholic. And he got a head injury as a child. Got hit in the head with a baseball bat from not watching where he was walking when they were playing baseball. And they swung the bat backwards to put it over their shoulders, and he was standing there and caught it right in the head. Anyhow, that head injury went on to give him epilepsy later on in life. And he was a workaholic, and the epilepsy took over, and it got so bad he couldn't work no more, and he wound up on disability, and tried to kill himself once and set the place on fire we're living in right in the middle of the winter and burned our place down. I think he could have qualified for an arsonist back then, but it was out of depression. But anyhow, I'm going to get to the point now. We were at this amusement park. I'm trying to remember the name. It was up in Denver. I think it was Lakeside. They had Elitch Gardens in Denver. And they had Lakeside. They had two amusement parks. Elitch just being the better. Since that time, it's become moved out of downtown Denver, and Six Flags bought them out, and they were Elitch Gardens, Six Flags. But just the same, at the time this occurred, they were still downtown Denver. Elitch just was, and they had another one. Like I think it was Lakeside, but that's where we were at. When my brother, my youngest brother, got bit by a mosquito, we got home from the amusement park and he was having grand mal seizures and running a fever. And they took him into the hospital and they run some tests on him, and the next morning he was in a coma. He was in a coma for just short of 2 weeks. And they diagnosed him with encephalitis, gotten by a mosquito. The doctor that come out and told us there was like 101 different types of encephalitis. And some forms of encephalitis they don't have no cure for. They can't do anything about it. Okay? Encephalitis attacks the human brain. And a lot of people die when they get bit. Okay? So you got malaria and encephalitis that are commonly known to be a bite from a mosquito. Yes, sirree. And with what I've seen, I am suggesting, in my opinion, from what I've seen and what research is there, that's pretty backable. And even Montegraph talk about it. What I'm seeing, I think this is probably pretty accurate. In my opinion, the second round is going to be caused by mosquitoes. But you're not to know it's going to be caused by mosquitoes. You're going to be told that the virus, the bug, the invisible enemy, has mutated and came back, when in reality it hasn't mutated at all. It's just the second part of this pandemic. That's all it is. And how did I say it's going to put people back to sleep? Because see, the first round that we're still in, where you couldn't find nobody at the clinics and nobody at the hospitals in the middle of a pandemic, all the medical industries were slower than they've ever been during a pandemic. Yeah, right. Plandemic, okay? But just the same, regardless of what, the next round the hospitals won't be empty. Nope, they sure won't. And if it comes through by mosquito, you're going to see all ages get sick. And you're going to see a lot of deaths. Lots of deaths. See, they set us up because, first off, the 6-foot separation, in my opinion, I feel has two functions behind the 6 foot. First function, keeping our distance. We're not sharing bacteria with each other, which makes our immune system stronger. So keeping a 6-foot distance actually helps to weaken your immune system. No lie, factual. Wearing the mask on a job 8 hours, 10 hours a day, you're breathing back in your CO2. That's right, you're exhaling CO2 and breathing in oxygen mixed with the CO2 you just exhaled, which is also toxic for your health and brings down your immune system. So what they're doing is they're deliberately weakening people's immune systems, and you don't even know they are. They know they are. Okay, yeah, they know they are, but they're not about to tell you that. And they're making it mandatory and pushing it on you to weaken your immune systems. So see, the first round is to weaken your immune systems. The second round, when your immune systems are weak, is when they're going to come after you with the real bug that they dropped on us via by mosquito. I'm only telling you this because this is what the research is pointing at. In my opinion, this is what it's pointing at. This is what we're seeing. And I just got through watching the complete movie of Downfall. It was put out in 1993 with Michael Douglas. And if you really pay attention to that movie, oh, Monty was right. Oh, was he right? It's full of NWO. It's full of wording to what's going on right now. It's not about what's going on right now, but the wording in it, the protest in it, the things you're seeing in the movie, and the images. Yeah. You know, giving you the message, putting it in your face. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Oh, I see Kim Reynolds' press conference. Yep. You're looking at Kim Reynolds right there. Yeah, Now, I'm not interested in watching it right this moment. I'm doing this. But anyhow, I don't watch it anyhow. I just want to hear what she says at the beginning, and that's it. And I'm keeping track of this, but I wanted to point out the contact tracing and let you know how they're doing that. Okay, so you have two functions with the 6 foot. Okay, the 6 foot distancing is, the two functions is 6 foot distancing keeps us from sharing bacteria, weakening your immune system. Okay, the next function in this process of the 6 foot is facial recognition. That's right, updating the software for facial recognition by using the eyes. So see, it has two functions. Just like, what is it we have here? The shutdown of society, the not letting restaurants reopen but have capacity, and then scaring them in from reopening. You got to pay attention to what's really going on around you. You need to pay attention to wording, and you need to realize all the same players that are behind this. They've particularly made this plan, and unfortunately, knowing what I know from my research is they want to bring the population of America down by 80% by 2025. That means killing off 80% of the population here in America by 2025. To do so, they're going to have to do some massive stuff if they're not going to drop bombs on us, right? There's going to have to be some major stuff going down. Well, the second round of this would definitely take out a lot of people. No lie. Do I know for sure? No, I'm giving you my opinion based on my research. And based on what I'm seeing, I think Monty's right. It's going to be mosquitoes. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the drone mosquito, but it could be. But I think, doesn't matter. Okay. The point is, yeah, that's a bio attack on people, and people don't even know where it's coming from. And then, of course, there's going to be some other major things happening. I would suggest people really wake up to what's going on. That's all I can tell you. But do understand this. I played you Miss Reynolds here so you would hear how she's in bed with these people and she knows she's lying to the public. Oh, yes, she does. She knows full well, just like she was up to Washington, just like the other governors of Colorado and other governors all been going up to the White House. Well, she was up to the White House and she self-quarantined herself the same way Tony is. Even though she didn't walk by him, she's being precautious and doing the same thing. Yeah, that's just another show. That's all that is. It's a show. It's right. You're watching Hollywood. You're watching an act. You're watching these criminals put on an act for you. That's all they're doing. While they're setting you up and weakening your immune system, and they want to weaken your immune system, so they have to give it time. They have to keep us social distancing and keep us wearing masks and give us time and keep us indoors as much as possible so that we're getting less bacteria, because it will weaken your immune system. That's the reason this is stretching on, because we need to weaken the immune systems for round 2. And round 2, when your immune systems on even healthy people have been weakened, it's going to allow things like this malaria and encephalitis that'll attack the brain and put you in a coma. And of course, they're going to claim it's upper respiratory when the entire time it's not, because you're not going to be there to see the test results. No, you're not. And then when some doctors say, well, but this is different than the first round, blah, 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 then they're going to give you the BS about it mutated. Anyhow, that's basically what I wanted to say for this time. I'll be up on the live stream, of course, on Saturday, and I'll go into more detail about this stuff, okay? I really will. I'll go into more detail. Round 2 is going to be very, very, very deadly. Round 2 is going to be for real. It's not going to be the lie. Okay, but remember this right here. There you are. You see what you're looking at right here. And you see when it was officially posted or put up. Now, this thing's been worked on for a long time. They don't write these things overnight. The day's only the 14th. This is May 13, 2020. And this was off the government website. These things are not put together overnight, okay? These things take a long time to put together. Somebody's been a busy little beaver here because this is what I told you, a pandemic. This is not no pandemic. This is planned. The entire damn thing is. All of this has been planned. It's right in your face. It really is. But I wanted to show you this. If anybody wants this link, you can ask me on Zoom or whatever, and I'll provide the link to this so that you can read it if you ain't got it. Okay, I got some other documentation stuff. I've got quite a bit backed up here. I got a lot of stuff backed up on this, but I wanted to give you my input on what I see going on here. Okay, so that's what's up. And with that, I'm going to get on out of here. And I'll see you here Saturday night.